Hello there! Today we're going to look at glazing. So I'll show you my process of how I prep my glazes and also how I check the thickness of the glaze. This is very important in order to know how long to dip it for. After a while it becomes like second nature, but in the beginning it can be a little confusing. I'll also be dipping a mug and just cleaning the bottom, just showing you how I do it, quick and easy. And yeah, let's get started! So first things first, we're going to mix the glaze. There is the brown glaze. Let's focus. Focus! There we go. So I'm going to just take my hand, I've stirred it, and I'm going to dip it in just 1, 2, out. I usually do 1, 2 count, and then it comes out. And there we go. As you can see, it's quite a nice consistency. I can't see the color of my hand. If you are doing glazes, especially with the darker colors, and you can see your skin color shining through, you know that the glaze is way too thin. But this also comes with practice over time, learning the consistency of your glazes, because some glazes naturally are thicker than others. Next, I'm going to sieve the glaze just to make sure that it's nice and smooth and silky, and how I'd like the consistency to be, because sometimes, especially for example, this is a working studio, which means a lot of people actually use it. Therefore, sometimes things can be dropped in, or you know, there could be parts of the glaze that even though you've stirred it, it still might be a little bit hard. So we just want to sieve it and make sure if there's anything that's in there that's not supposed to be there, we can just make sure that it does get into the glaze that you'll be dipping with. So I have an extra bowl at the bottom just to catch the excess glaze, because we don't like wasting glazes. They're expensive. So if we can save the glaze and put it back, then we save the glaze. I'm quickly just going to stir my glaze again before I pour it into the new container, just to make sure, because it's been standing for a while, and obviously glaze that stands, everything kind of drops to the bottom. And let's pour! So when I'm done, I actually remove the sieve and, you know, the planks that are supporting it, and put it over the glaze bucket that I had, just to make sure that if there's anything in here that still wants to come out, then it does. I don't want to have to waste glaze. So it's looking beautiful. Look at that, silky and smooth. I'm just going to do another finger test. So 1, 2. It's actually a little bit thicker than what it was, so that's great. Now let's get the mug. Wow, this doing like with one hand is quite intense. Okay, just need to... Sometimes before I dip, I actually just do a practice run of how I'm actually going to dip it. So I'm going to go in and out. So let's do this. Now see, because I had to do that one-handed with the camera, it didn't come out as planned. As you can see right there, let's focus. Focus! There's a whole area there that didn't actually get glazed. So I messed up. The mug isn't right. There's like a whole area that wasn't glazed. I feel like a disappointment. How do I salvage this situation? easy enough. Grab a card, one of those that you have applied for that you never use, that you probably don't have any points on anyway. We're going to use this to scrape off all the glaze, and don't scrape the glaze off in a bin. We're going to scrape it back into the bucket that we used, and after that we're just going to wipe it neatly with a sponge, make sure all the glaze is off, and then we're going to put it in the sun. Just let it stand to dry out completely. It's winter now, so I will be putting it in the sun, and then I can glaze it again tomorrow the proper way. If you actually glaze something, mess it up, you know, wash the glaze off, and then want to dip it immediately afterwards, the glaze will not take onto your item. It'll be a lot thinner, it won't really work. So the good idea is just to have it dry out completely before you dip it again.
Just making sure nothing drips. And lastly, it's just putting the glaze back into the bucket, ensuring you put everything in and clean up. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and this video was actually about how not to do glazing. Hope it helped. See you soon. Bye.